Hi, I'm Jeff O'Mara. This is Cora. Thanks for joining us for practice today. Let's start in a comfortable seated position, okay? Whatever that is for you. You can sit with your legs crossed. You can kneel if you prefer. It might help you feel comfortable to sit up a little bit taller on something if you have a block or a stack of books. That can help lift you up a little bit higher, whether you're kneeling or with your legs crossed. Help you feel a little bit more comfortable in the hips and the lower back. Okay, so whatever feels good for you. Take a second and make sure you're comfortable. Okay, sit with a nice tall spine. You can take a moment with your eyes closed, or you can drop your gaze down to the floor. Relax the eyes so that you're not looking at anything in particular. Okay, taking a moment here to just be still and see what you notice. See what you're experiencing in your present moment. Okay, maybe sensations anywhere in your body. You might bring your awareness to the movement of your breathing. Okay, when we practice yogas, we're practicing this, simply practicing this. We're just practicing being aware of our present moment experience, whatever that is. Okay, let's take another minute here to cultivate our breath. Okay, and we'll practice a complete breath here. Okay, that's what I like to call it when I'm looking at the breath, and I just want to make sure all aspects of the breath have an appropriate fullness for me. Okay, so that the breath is really serving me. Okay, first take a look at the inhale side of the breath. As you take the breath in, notice the expansion in the lungs. Feel the sensations that come along with that in your torso. Notice where the breath goes. Is it up in the chest? Maybe see if you can draw it a little bit deeper down into your abdomen. Okay, so now we're connected with that inhale, bringing the breath into the body. Now let's look at the other side of the breath, the exhale. Okay, with the exhale, we just want to make sure we follow that breath all the way out. Okay, so we've taken our inhale. Now as we exhale, just watch the breath leave the body. Try to follow the breath all the way out without getting in the way. Don't stop the breath short. See if you can let it diminish. Let it taper all the way till there's no breath left leaving the body. Okay, maybe after a couple of these exhales, you might even find a little bit of stillness at the end of the breath. If you find some stillness there, let your body rest. And then whenever your body suggests it start the next inhale, then you just go ahead and you follow. Okay, so just by taking this minute or so here, we can fairly easily find ourselves into this complete cycle of breath. Okay, very simple mindfulness practice, very effective. Okay, once you've connected to your breath, if you'd like to on your own, you can practice just sitting with this for 3 minutes or 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 minutes. Okay, perfect meditation right there. Perfect yoga practice. Okay, for our sake here today, let's just take 2 or 3 more of those complete breaths. Inhale, feeling expansive. Exhale, very gently releasing the breath completely from the body. Okay, beautiful. From here, let's move into our kind of first official position. We'll just move into a simple seated twist. Okay, let's first just take an inhale. We can sweep the arms up, find a little length in the body. And then as you exhale, let's twist to the right. Okay, so you can turn to the right, set your left hand across on your right knee. Your right hand can find the floor beside you or behind you. Each inhale, make sure you sit nice and tall. Reach through the crown of your head. As you exhale, you're just twisting to the right. Okay, staying with that complete breath. Each inhale, drawing the breath in, expanding. As you exhale, you might find a little bit more space that you can twist into. Okay, using the hands just to refine your position here, not using it to really force your way in. Take it nice and slowly. We'll take 2 or 3 more breaths, see how everything feels. Maybe take that right shoulder and roll that right shoulder back and see if you can follow it into the twist. Okay, 1 more breath here. And then you can gently release the twist, come back to center. And then let's inhale the arms, sweep up again. And then as you exhale this time, we twist to the left. Okay, rotating to the left, drop the right hand to the left knee, left hand to your side or back behind. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale to rotate upon the spine. Okay, you can think of that spine as just a perfect straight line, perfect axis going all the way up through the crown of your head, and you're just rotating upon that. Noticing how your spine feels, every little sensation all the way up through the full length. If it feels okay with your neck, you might even start to turn the chin back towards that left shoulder. Maybe even take your gaze back behind you. Perfect. 1 more breath here. And then you can release and come back to center. Okay. Now we'll do a seated version of cat-cow. Okay, so we place both palms on the knees. We've rotated the spine. Let's bring everything just back to center. With both palms on the knees, following that complete breath still, when you take an inhale, lift the chest up and through. Belly might come forward a little bit. Roll the shoulders back and down. Maybe even lift your gaze. And then as you exhale, press back, round the spine. Okay, widen the back, widen the shoulders. Drop the head so the chin drops down towards the chest. Follow the breath out all the way. Okay, so those are the 2 movements. As you inhale, come forward and up, roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, round back into your spine and release. Follow the pace of your own breath. Okay, the movement might be very small, might be very slow, might be very gentle, or you might feel comfortable reaching in to both sides, lifting the chest, pressing the spine back. Okay, make it feel good. You might feel like there's a wave rolling up and down through your spine. Okay, a couple more times. Okay, and then let's come back to a nice neutral spine here. Okay, from here we're going to make our way down onto our backs. Okay, we'll do a little bit of work, really briefly and gently, into the core of the body. Okay, so find your way onto your back. Okay, and then let's just take a second here to draw the knees in towards the spine. Okay, it feels really good. Make it really gentle. Just hug the knees in. You can release the back of your head to the floor, roll out a little bit, side to side, maybe circle the knees. You can move the knees independently if that feels good. Okay. And then from here, you can just set the soles of the feet down onto the floor. Okay. Notice the little arch in your back. Take an inhale, breathe into your belly, and then as you exhale, see if you can press that arch out, meaning eliminating that space so as you press the lower back down into the floor. So if I were to take my hand, I could slide it underneath now. Okay, as I take an inhale, my back arches and I might be able to find that little space, but as I exhale, I'm pressing that down to eliminate the space. 1 more time like that. Take an inhale to arch, and then an exhale to press that lower back down. Now maintain that. As you take an inhale, keep pressing that low back down into the floor, and feel when you take that breath, you're working against a firmness here in your lower part of your abdomen. Okay, that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find that firmness. That's the engagement in the core. Okay, so we're going to try to maintain that. Okay, maybe take 1 more breath here just to feel it. And then from here, let's lift 1 foot off the floor, lift the other foot off the floor. Again, trying to maintain that firmness here, so we're still pressing that low back down. Okay, for some of us, this might be enough work. We might feel a good amount of work happening in the deep into the core of the body. You can imagine down in towards the spine. Okay? If you want to take it a little bit further, imagine taking the center of your chest and you can reach that towards your knees, lifting the shoulder blades off the floor. If you wanted to, you could interlace the hands back behind the skull just to carry it. Don't pull on your head, okay? Just to let the head rest there. Okay? You'll feel the work get a little bit more intense. Keep pressing that low back down. Okay? Keep the breath moving. If you want to take it yet another step further, take your right leg, reach it out nice and long. Press out through the sole of that foot like you're pressing into the wall across the room. Okay, and then switch out the legs. Okay, maybe move a couple times like that. Reach through one leg, and then switch. And then switch. Okay, and then switch. The idea isn't to, work with any kind of brute force here. It's just to get a sense of this control. Okay, switching out the legs. Whenever you feel like you've had enough, you just set the feet down, out wide. Release your upper back down to the floor. Rest your arms at your sides. And just fall back into your breath. Let the breath be completely natural. Relax through your abdomen. You might feel the breath fill down into that lower part of your abdomen. And then exhale, follow that breath all the way out. Okay? Okay, from here, you can just roll to one side and press yourself back up to seated. Okay, here we're going to use a prop to help us open up into our legs a little bit. So if you have a belt, in a yoga class we might have a yoga strap handy, but it's not necessary. If you have a belt, if you have a shirt, really anything can work, okay? So if you need to take a moment to go and grab something, go ahead and do that. And then what we're going to do is we'll take this strap, we'll return to our backs, and we're going to use this to assist us. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can make your way back down onto your back. Okay, reach, let's keep both knees bent. And then you can just take your right knee, hug your right knee into your chest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our strap or our shirt or whatever we're using here, our belt, and you can just throw it over the sole of your right foot. And then reach that right foot out long. Okay? You don't have to have that leg perfectly straight. You just want to feel like you start to reach out through that heel, draw the toes back in towards you, and get a nice opening through the backs of the leg. Okay. Let's start with the leg as low as you need to go to really start to feel that extension. Okay, use that complete breath, especially a nice long exhale here. Okay, and eventually you might start to draw it up towards vertical. It doesn't mean you have to get there. But if you need a little bit more sensation and it feels good, you might start to reach that leg up towards the ceiling, reach through the heel. If you wanted to, you could take that left leg and reach it out long on the floor as well. So now reaching firmly out through both heels. Remembering that nice long exhale. From here, you could take the strap in your left hand and you could start to drop that right leg across the center of your body so it falls across over to the left side. You might take your right arm and reach out to your right side. Okay, try to keep reaching out energetically through that right heel. Okay, you should feel a nice opening through the outside of your right leg. See if you can take a nice long exhale and let that leg ease over to the left. Okay, from here, carefully take that leg back up to center. You can switch out the hands. Maybe you grab your strap with your right hand now, and then you start to let that leg fall over to the right. Okay, you can take the left arm and reach that out to the left. You might even take your gaze, look back out towards that left hand. Okay, so not rushing here, not feeling like the leg has to fall to any particular degree. Just be aware of the nice opening through the inside of that right leg. Nice long exhales. Let's take one more breath. And then you can soften through that right knee, draw that leg back in towards center, and we're just going to switch out the legs now. So release the right foot to the floor, take your strap and throw it over the sole of your left foot, and then start to extend through that left leg. Okay, you might hang on with both hands. Reach out through that heel, draw those left toes in towards your face, get a nice extension through the back of that leg. If you wanted to, you might start to draw that left knee in towards you and keep reaching through that left heel. Leg might make it a little bit more towards vertical. You might reach that right leg out long down towards the floor. So now you feel the firmness in both legs. Reach through both heels energetically, but keep that nice long exhale. Breathe into the back of the leg and then exhale. See if things can ease a little bit more. Okay, maybe grabbing the strap in your right hand and then starting to let that left leg fall across the center line so the heel reaches up and away towards the right. Okay, keep reaching through that heel the whole time. You probably don't have to drop it very far to get that nice sensation on the outside of the left leg. Okay, be very, very patient. Don't force anything. Okay, when you're ready, carefully draw the leg back through center. Switch out, grab the strap in your left hand. You might release the right arm out to the right. And then exhale, you can start to drop that left leg over to the left. Keep reaching out through that left heel. Nice steady breath. Okay, when you're ready, soften through the left knee and then carefully take that left leg back in. You can take your strap and you can set it off to the side. Take a second and hug both knees into the chest. Okay, make it feel good. Rock it out side to side. Maybe circle the knees. Okay, and then you can release the knees. Set the soles of both feet down onto the floor. We'll come into bridge pose now. Okay, so the feet should be hip width apart. You should be able to reach down with your fingertips and touch your heels. Lift up your toes, press into your feet. When you're ready, lift your hips off the floor and get a nice little arch through the spine. Okay? Okay, lifting the hips. Stay nice and steady with the breath. Okay, we'll do a couple rounds here so you don't have to go in with all your energy here. Test the water, see how it feels. Okay, you might press through the backs of the arms. You might be able to interlace the fingers underneath you and then squeeze the palms together. Feel the shoulders rotate out, open your chest. Reach a little bit more. Stay with that nice complete breath. Don't forget the breath. Okay, on your next exhale, let's gently release. You can roll your way back down through your spine. Okay, letting everything rest to the floor. Take a breath or two, natural breath, let everything go. Really important to engage when we need to engage, but then completely relax when we have the opportunity to do that. Okay, one more round of bridge pose. Pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, roll your way up through your spine. Okay, always keeping the gaze straight up to the ceiling above you. Okay, know from how you're feeling here, do you want to take it a little bit further than you did the last time through? If so, press through the arms, maybe interlace the fingers, squeeze those palms. Really think most about opening through your chest here and being more expansive with the breath. Okay, if you wanted to, keep it nice and easy. You can just relax the arms. Pay, perfect attention to just the movement of your breath. Nice and comfortable through your spine. Okay, last breath here. And then you can exhale. Very carefully roll back down to the floor. When you get there, you might just step your feet out wide to the edges of your yoga mat. Okay, and then let both knees drop over to the right side. Let both knees come back through center, drop over to the left. Okay, a couple times to each side. Okay, just releasing any tension you might have picked up in your lower back. There you go. Okay, and then you can come back to center. Again, let's gently draw the knees in towards the chest. Okay, and you've got a choice here. You can roll forward and backwards and come up to seated, or if it would be better for you, you can roll to one side and just press your way back up. But then we'll come to that seated position. Take a second and really hug the knees back in. Okay, we'll come into boat pose here, Navasana. Okay, so really draw those knees up and in, and then see if you can hold the knees up in there using the core that we practiced earlier. Okay, engage the muscles that would lift the heels off the floor. Draw the knees up and in, so that maybe you can release the hands. Okay, maybe you just release the hands out in front. Maybe you lift the heels. Okay, try to keep drawing that length into your spine. Okay, so if you need a little help, hold on to the backs of the thighs, roll the shoulders back, and lift the chest up and through. Okay, when everything feels okay, maybe you release the hands again. Okay, if everything's feeling okay, maybe you start to straighten through the legs. Not necessary, any of these things. Okay, maybe one more breath. Again, if you need help, grab onto the backs of the legs, lift up, and then release. Okay. You can set the feet back down to the floor. Let's place the soles of the feet in towards each other. Okay, we'll come into, some people call it butterfly pose or cobbler pose, Baddha Konasana. Okay, so set up your feet a comfortable distance out in front. You might grab onto the ankles. Take an inhale, try to come back to that nice long spine. Okay, I use my hands to get a little bit of leverage here so that I can pull my chest up and through, reach through the crown of the head, roll the shoulders back, and then just come back to that nice long exhale. Okay, one last breath. And then you can make your way back up. You might grab outside your knees, help them back in. Okay, and then maybe hug the knees back in like we did before we did our Navasana boat pose. Okay, maybe lifting the heels. You might be able to take your two first fingers and reach them around your big toes. Or you could grab them around the outsides of your feet. If they don't quite make it, just grab onto your knees or your shins. And then from there, you might just start to lift the heels, extend through the legs. Don't worry about getting the legs straight. Okay, find the stability in the center of your body. Nice steady breath. Okay, if you wanted to, you could separate the feet. Okay, if you roll back, that's okay. Roll your way back up. Nice steady breath. Okay. Pull the chest forward and through. Beautiful. Okay, and then let's hug the knees back in. Okay, and then maybe just let yourself roll back, and then roll forward. Give yourself a nice little massage along the spine if it feels good. And then one of these times, you might be able to roll yourself all the way forward onto your feet. I knew Cora would get it. Okay, and then from here, let's set the hands to the floor, and then just start to lift your hips. Okay, dropping the upper body into a forward fold. Okay, we'll take a few breaths here. Knees can be bent. You might walk out the legs a little bit. Encourage an opening in the backs of the legs. Okay, stay with a nice steady breath here.
Nice long exhales. And then when you're ready to make your way up, let your arms hang, press into your feet, roll your way up through your spine. And then you can step your way towards the front of your mat and get a couple sun salutations in here. Okay? Tadasana, mountain pose at the front of your mat. Maybe bring the palms of the hands together. Find your breath. On your inhale, sweep the arms out wide, up overhead. And then as you exhale, you can float down into your forward fold. Take an inhale, try to lengthen out the spine. So draw the hands up the shins as far as they need to. Roll the shoulders back, pull the chest forward and through. And then exhale, set your hands, step your feet back behind you so you come into your plank pose. Take an inhale here to lengthen, and then as you exhale, if you'd like to, you can drop your knees or you can keep them lifted. Bend your elbows, keep them at your side, lower down to the floor, tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and lift into your cobra pose. Tuck your toes. Exhale, lift the knees, lift the hips, press back to downward facing dog. Okay, we'll take a few breaths here. Okay, nice complete breath. Press into your hands. Keep the knees bent if that's better for you. Find that length all the way through the spine. Okay? If you want a little extra attention for the sun salutations, you can check one of the other videos where we work specifically on that. Okay? When you're ready to take it back forward, exhale completely, softening into your knees, looking forward, and then step your feet up in between your hands. Inhale to flatten out that back again, and then exhale to fold. Inhale from that center, pull your way back up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands back down to your heart. Okay, we'll do one more. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift and flatten out the back. Exhale to set the hands, step your feet back into plank. Take an inhale to lengthen, and an exhale to lower. Inhale to come through for cobra. Nice back bend here. And then tuck your toes. Exhale, press up and back to your downward facing dog. Okay, pause, take a few of those complete breaths. If it's better for you to drop the knees for child's pose, that's fine. When you're ready, bending into the knees, gazing forward. Exhale completely. Step the feet up in between the hands. Inhale takes you to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, pull your way back up to stand. Sweep the arms up. Exhale the hands back down to the heart. And then just pause. Everything back to stillness. Observe your breath. Okay, from here, let's take a step back to the center of our mat. Okay, we'll finish our standing sequence here with the balancing pose. We'll do tree pose. Okay, so again, many of these poses are available in other videos, okay, looking at them more specifically. So if you want a little bit of help, then go ahead and check the rest of those in the digital classroom. Okay, let's start. Shifting the weight over into the left leg. Okay, maybe you take that right foot and you just turn it so that the heel is against the left ankle. Toes can brace you onto the floor. If you wanted to, you could step that foot up and place it on the left calf, or you might even be able to take it up and place it on the inside of the left thigh. Okay, let that knee roll out. Okay, press the foot into the leg, press the leg into the foot, press your left foot down into the floor as you lift through the chest. Okay, palms might come together at the center of your chest. You might sweep the arms up overhead. Okay, whatever feels comfortable for you. Keep the gaze nice and steady. Find a point out in front. Eyes still, breath moving smoothly. Perfect. It's okay if you come out, you just set the foot down and see if you can, as gracefully as possible, bring it back up. One more breath. Okay, and then you can release Set that right foot down, maybe shake out the legs for a moment. Okay, and we'll switch to the other side. So weight goes into your right leg. The left foot is either to the right ankle, right calf, or the inside of the right thigh. Okay, set yourself up the same way we did on the other side. Press that right foot into the floor, left foot into the right leg into that left foot. Feel yourself get firm right through the core to support you. Again, arms can sweep up or palms in front of the center of the chest. Roll the shoulders back, nice and open through the heart center. Steady gaze, steady breath. Beautiful. When you're ready to make your way out, with control, see if you can release that foot, set it back down right where you want it. Walk out the legs a little bit. Okay, and then let's make our way back down onto the floor. Okay, come back to that comfortable seated pose that we started with. Okay, we'll take a minute to sit here at the end, and then we'll have our final resting pose, Shavasana. Okay, so from your comfortable seat, nice tall spine, find a place for your hands, just let them be still. You can close your eyes or just drop the gaze down to the floor out in front of you. And just take a minute here to observe your experience, each sensation as it arises and as it falls away. Okay, maybe you place the attention on the movement of your breathing. Maybe you just keep an open mind and you just enjoy this moment of stillness. Okay, from here you can make your way onto your backs for Shavasana. Okay. Coming down onto your backs. Reach the legs out long, arms relaxed at your side, palms face up. Feel the floor support the body. Okay, feel the natural movement of your breath. With each exhale, anything still holding on in the body has a chance to let go. Okay, so taking this last minute or two here to rest as completely as you can, as simply as possible. Okay, you might start to add a little effort back into the breath. Okay, that inhale becomes a bit more powerful, engages you back with the physical body. You might bring a little movement into the hands and the feet. Start to reach out through the arms and the legs, and then just follow your body. Let it be spontaneous. Find whatever kind of stretching, twisting, lengthening feels good. Okay, and then you can draw the knees back into the chest. Okay, and then rolling over to one side. When you're ready, you can press yourself back up to seated. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. You might close by taking the palms of the hands back together at the center of the chest. Okay, and with a nice wholehearted bow. Wish yourself well, wish everybody well. Namaste.